Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be taking a look at Linux Lite. I've already set this virtual machine up today, so let's just get right to it. Now I've given this 15 gigs of storage and 2 gigs of RAM, so it shouldn't have any trouble obviously booting up. So the main features of this operating system is that it is designed for low-end hardware. It is good for first-time users to Linux as it has a simple and elegant layout. It is based on Ubuntu, which basically means, well, it's going to be rather reliable because it is a rather rock solid base, although there wasn't a specific version of Ubuntu mentioned on the website that this was based off of, so I presume it's based off of Ubuntu 18.04. Now it is arguably one of the best lightweight desktop operating systems that currently exist, so that's a good thing. And users usually do not need to worry about drivers after installation because Linux usually sorts it out by itself. Now onto the system requirements. The minimum recommended specs are a processor with 1 GHz of power, 768 megs of RAM. I believe that was just the startup sound there. 768 megs of RAM, although it doesn't mention the specific DDR version, but I wouldn't worry about it too much anyway. Storage, the absolute minimum is 8 gigs, it needs that, and it needs a VGA screen with 1024 by 768 resolution, and as for the media, it needs either a DVD drive or a USB port for the ISO image. Now, for the preferred specifications, it would like a 1.5 GHz processor, a gigabyte of RAM, 20 gigs of storage, a VGA, DVI, HDMI screen with 1366 by 768 resolution, and as I said before, obviously an optical drive or a USB port for the installation media. So let's get right to this. First of all, this install, it does look rather modern, which is rather nice. Won't install updates because that'll take forever, but I will install the third-party software for graphics, etc. Now for the hardware, I always find that's rather useful when installing these Linux distributions. I don't know why, but it just seems to work better. So let's type in a very insecure password. Pardon, but that doesn't matter anyway, seeing as I'm probably just going to delete this VM after tinkering with it. Right, so it's copying over the files. Now I believe this is the traditional time to speed up the video and wait for it to install. Right, so the installation is now complete. Let's just go ahead and restart. I wonder if it's going to do that thing that Linux tends to like to do, where it says eject the, well, it asks you to eject the installation medium, yet it has already done it. Oh dear. I think that may be because, well, let's just reset this actually. Because I think VirtualBox actually ejects it automatically, but sometimes it does it a bit too early. That's why Linux always says eject the ISO file, even though it has done it by itself. Right, so here we are then. So first things first, let's have a look around. How about the control panel? This looks interesting. Oh, now this is interesting. GNOME. The contrast. Oh no, this one looks like, oh, what was it called? The icons anyway, they look a bit like the old Ubuntu 16.04 Unity. That's what it was. I'll leave it at that one anyway. But these do look rather modern anyway. I suspect, by the fact that it's got the Unity icons in it still, that it, well, still is based on 1604. Although now thinking about it, I think 1804 has still got quite a few of the older icons left over from, obviously, when it used the Unity theme. So let's just go ahead and look at something else. The desktop now. Got some very nice wallpapers there. That one's nice. But this one. Oh, that's lovely. I like the reflections on that one. I will use this one. So let's see what else we've got. We've got obviously the apps menu there. Here's the file manager. Oh, that. Hang on. Yeah, that minimises everything. Oh yes, it's Stuna. Well, if I remember correctly, quite a few Linux distributions have got that file manager, and it's actually a really decent one to use. Very stable. Let's load up Firefox, see if it's got a custom. Oh no, this is interesting. It's got its own web address. It's adapted. Oh, Google Custom Search. Almost looks like a weird version of the Google homepage then, or an older version rather. How strange is that? See what version it's on, shall we? 60.001. Or 60.01 rather. I believe Firefox 61 has just been released. So that isn't too far behind. Shall we have a look at some of the applications? There we've got Firefox. Quite a few Lite software. Shall we have a look at this? Yes. Okay then. I presume this is some sort of software center. Install software. It is as well. Shall we install the Chromium browser? I've never seen a software center laid out like that before. Just a list of applications and you can choose which ones you like. Okay. Internet. Oh, that's interesting. Well, it's installed it perfectly fine. Yeah, I can't really fault that. So that's Chromium anyway. Just thought I'd test install it anyway. Oh, and we've got VLC as well. That's very nice. See what version it is. Yes, I believe that is the latest version. Well, from the time of recording anyway. We've got quite a few other applications there as well. Thunderbirds. So I believe that is almost about it now. I mean, I can't really see anything. Oh, hang on. I presume that's LibreOffice. Yes, it is. Well, I believe that's the majority of the apps, and it's got loads of pre-installed applications. And I like the clock as well, how it's a 12-hour clock and it's even got the seconds there. So I think that basically brings it to the end of this video. I mean, it seems like a really nice OS, and I mean you can easily, as I say, shall we add that to the desktop? Yeah, you can easily do stuff on it. It's so simple to use and it looks lovely. You can install applications really easily, and yeah, I mean, just very nice. So I believe that basically brings it to the end of this video really. I mean, I had a look around some of the applications, and from what I see it's got a really nice sort of configuration of apps on here, and quite a few native ones actually. So unless I can see anything else which looks interesting, so I believe that is basically it. Right, well then, thank you all very much for watching today, and I do hope you enjoyed this video. I probably will be testing this on some of my other computers actually. I don't know if it's got a 32-bit version, I better double check that. But certainly I'll test this on some of my older 64-bit computers. So I believe this brings it to the end of the video today. Thank you all very much for watching indeed. And if you feel like supporting my channel, you can do so not by giving it any money, but by simply subscribing to it. So thank you very much, and until the next video, goodbye.